what was the role of music in your childhood?
I don't know. I mean, I think I experienced music in a lot of different ways in my childhood. My dad's a musician, so he was always like playing guitar and stuff like that around the house. He he used to come into my bedroom at night and like play me songs to like put me to sleep, and he said when he was like tuning up when I was a little kid, I used to always say like, "This is my favorite song." And then I danced a lot growing up, so obviously that's like a different, that's like a physical element as well. And then I've always really loved singing, so I don't know. I guess it's like music has a lot of different ways to be in your life, and I don't know. I guess it was kind of like all over the place.
So was your childhood.
Yeah.
Literally, how did that influence the music? Being exposed to different, sort of more city, more rural, how did that influence everything?
Well, I think it's given me a more broad perspective than if I had only been in one place for most of my life. And obviously, like, life experiences make it into music and lyrics.
And for the people who don't know, talk about the different places you grew up and what each of those sort of contributed to that story.
Well, I was born in New York, but I only lived there till I was 2. So, I mean, when I was a kid, I don't have like memories from the time I was 2 or whatever. And then I lived in Montana from the time I was 2 till I was 9. Which I think I kind of like idealized that time in my life a lot. It was, we lived out in the middle of nowhere, like an hour outside of the city, and we didn't have like cable or anything. So my brother and I would just like go like catch salamanders and play outside. And then we moved to North Carolina and had kind of a suburban, like normal, experience. Like I lived like 2 minutes from school, which was super different because it used to take forever to get anywhere. And like I loved living in North Carolina, and I'm super happy for that time of my life as well because I loved having like a southern upbringing, and that's really, my mom always really liked country, but that's like kind of where I got more interested in country music, and like I would go to like Dollywood every summer with my cousins and stuff. And then I left home when I was 17, and I lived in New York for a while, and then in LA, and then now I live here in Nashville. So I don't know. I mean, I think having all those different experiences like was like a taste of a lot of different ways of living.
Yeah, definitely. And an independent upbringing, too.
Yeah, definitely.
That's still part of you? That
Yeah,
independence and I can stand on my own 2 feet?
Definitely. My mom, her job kind of kept her away a lot, so from a really young age, just kind of did stuff on my own, and I think that's, I don't know, I'm happy for that because like a lot of my friends and stuff still like don't want to like go do stuff on their own, or like when they're by themselves they're bored, but I like being by myself. Like I don't know, but I also like doing kind of weird stuff, so I don't know.
And plus, I think songwriting for a lot of people starts out as a solitary.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely,
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to do anything when I'm by myself, or like make weird noises and stuff.
And try lines
Yeah.
and just, yeah, exactly.
Say anything I want to and play terrible guitar and no one will know.
Let's get to some of these songs. Because when I said before, like, it's a record and I was so excited, these are real songs.
Thank you.
There's like real stuff going on in each and every one of these songs, and real lyrics and substance, and I miss that.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for making this. How did you develop the way you write songs? Do they always come from personal experience, or do you bring in other people's stories?
Well, the way that I've been writing songs since I moved to Nashville was different than like prior to that because I mean not like and I love it. Like I've been set up on like co-writes with where it's like here's this person that you just met today, now go write a song together from this time to this time. And like but I think it's great because the songs that you write in those scenarios are something that you never would have written otherwise. And I mean I still write by myself too, which like I don't know. I mean every song obviously comes from a different place, and like Dead and Gone is on the album, which is a song on the album. Like I is basically
a light little
yeah. I've had like this fear of death for like I don't know since the time I was like 14 or something, maybe younger than that. But it's kind of a reflection of that, along as like in addition to my interest in poetry. So that's like a culmination of those two things, and then Me and Johnny Cash, which is the single. We wrote that song because John, one of my co-writers, like picked me up to drive me to the office, and I was like venting about an old boyfriend. So we wrote that. So like they all, I think, I mean, in my mind, they're all pretty different. So
I want to touch on the Me and Johnny Cash song because one of the things that I like about that character is she uses music as her friend.
yeah,
And as she turns to music, and there's songs that I can, they're my friends, and sometimes I want to hang out with them because
exactly,
you need that comfort. What kind of music is that takes that place for you? Is that Johnny Cash or
certainly for I mean, I think there's so many different roles that music can play, and like even like in like or the music can embody as a friend. Like there's this one album, this Nicki and the Dove album, that like if ever my friends want to go out and I'm like really tired and I don't want to, I'll just like put on that album and I'm like, okay, I can go out now. Or like I love listening to Johnny Cash like if I'm feeling homesick or something. And then like Alison Krauss makes me think of my mom. So I don't know. There's like I think different music plays a different role.
the song "Never Mine"? True story.
Yeah, I mean, it was as another co-write with John Rainey, so he actually had the idea for the song, but I think everyone has experienced the situation of like wanting a relationship to be something more and not having that be reciprocated.
It's because I was almost like we should get your producers in here because I have questions for them too. Some of the choices on the record I think are really interesting, and especially with Nevermind, the vocal is almost untouched. Like I mean, it's not. I know what happens in a studio, but it just sounds so pure. And to me, it was a song I was driving a couple of days ago, and I've got this record going. And all of a sudden, I realized I was getting tears in my eyes.
Aww.
And it was because the emotion in the song is so strong. I was thinking about something, different, and it comes through.
Thank you.
How was the vocal process for you, recording not just that song, but everything on the record?
Well, that song in particular is like my favorite song to sing on the album. I mean, we recorded everything over a span of like, I don't know, a long time. We're still finished, recording songs that aren't obviously on the EP, but that will be on the album and stuff. Still writing. But, Russ, the producer, like, wanted the vocals to I mean, I think I generally sing in tune and stuff, and like I like to think that I'm a pretty good singer, so like he didn't have to like touch it too much, and that's definitely what he would want to do. He wanted there was actually I like got really sick for a while and had bronchitis, so we like tried to record and it just sounded really bad, and we had to come back and like recut a bunch of stuff because he didn't want to have to like tune it a bunch and stuff, and just wanted the vocals to be like natural.
And that comes across very much so. And I like how you use your voice. You're not afraid to really play with range, going very, very sort of deep How did that develop? What gave you that confidence to really freely play with your voice?
I've always just really loved to sing, and the singers that I really admire, I think have dynamic voices, and like I love Etta James and Otis Redding and like that like Motown like soul kind of voice. So, I mean, I think that's listening to different singers and what they do kind of has allowed me to have more freedom vocally.
Because the first couple of songs you stay a lot in your middle range and you feel very comfortable there, and I was almost starting to think like that's what you do. And then Nevermind comes on and this voice comes out. And I was like, whoa, this is extraordinary. So I really like that you don't feel the need just because you can really belt out a song that you have to do that every time.
Well, thank you. Yeah. That's something that like even in recent years I've had to like realize that like there's having moments of intimacy is like just as powerful as like kind of showing off vocally.
It really, on one side, because I try to, songs usually get put in an order for a reason. So I try to listen to the record in order. But I was very curious about the last song because of the title.
I forget what the order is.
Cool, Wild, Whatever.
Oh.
I was like, what is that going to be about? Talk about writing that one and that feeling that you're conveying in that song.
That song, John and I wrote outside of this building, like on a like sunny day last summer. When I was like, I forget if he came up with the groove first or if I had lyrics first, but I was like into this guy, and pretty much like the lyrics are pretty like spot on as to like what was like going on in my life, and just I think it has kind of a youthful feeling, and like I don't know, I really like the way that song turned out. Like I really like the production on it and everything. I think it's definitely more like pop sounding than some of the other ones, but I don't know, that's pretty much
But that's a cool mix. There's real country, like Turn Me On Like the Radio is absolutely 100% pure country, and then you have that more indie pop music in there too.
Yeah, I mean, I think we tried to keep everything on the album like, could this potentially be played on country radio? And then so like finding that balance has been I don't know, good, interesting or something.
Yeah.
And like trying to like figure out what, I don't know, like satisfying my interests as an artist, and also like keeping in mind like what the country audience wants to hear. And I don't know, I'm super happy with everything on the album, so hopefully people like it.
Is that a difficult balance sometimes because I think especially the songwriter might sometimes fight with the radio crowd. The songwriter wants to say something, and
yeah, I mean, that's been like a little bit of a struggle for me because I don't know, like I want to be able to like say anything I want and make it sound any way that I want to, but Russ will be like, and you just have to have a hit first. So
that is wise words.
Yeah.
But it's still, I think I agree with him. Obviously, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But this is still a record that there's no, hey boy, come and pick me up in your truck. This is not on this record. You can still say what you want to say. That's
definitely not like true to who I am. I'm not like a hey boy, come pick me up on your truck kind of girl. So that would be like disingenuine.
Awesome. And you mentioned an album. What are the plans for